hacer los dos.
Hola, buenas tardes, doctor.
Hola, buenas tardes. Ups. Ok. ¿Cómo están? ¿Los dos listos? Perfecto. Eso, iniciamos inmediatamente. Hoy vamos a ver un vídeo de unos 10 minutos de una gente que dicen algo sobre relatividad y los quiero pedir que mientras ven el vídeo toman nota de todas las cosas que son incorrectos. Y después lo vamos a discutir. ¿Entendido?
Sí, profe.
Sí, doctor.
Muy bien. ¿Cómo hago esto? Quiero full screen. Ok. Oh, está mejor. A ver. So. Vamos aquí al frente.
This video was sponsored by KiwiCo. More about KiwiCo at the end of the show. I know what you're thinking. Click, click. No one has measured the speed of light? That's ridiculous.
Doctor, es que creo que no, bueno, yo ya no lo escucho y se ve como a un cuadro por segundo. La verdad no sé.
one has actually measured it. You can't measure the speed of light the same way you measure the speed of anything else. I think we're recording everywhere. What are we doing? This is a video about measuring the speed of stuff. Okay. Tell me about how you measured the speed of the baseball fired out of your cannon. Well, to get the speed of the baseball, you need to know two things. You need to know the distance between 2 points, and you need to know the time that it takes the baseball to travel between those points. So basically, we took distance divided by time, and that's the speed of the baseball. And in our case, we were shooting with a high-speed camera, so you basically just count the frames, and then your clock is internal. Oh, you're going relativity. You're gonna do something weird, aren't you? You saw it coming. I can't believe it, man. The thing I asked you about is the speed of light. Okay, could you measure the speed of light like this?
¿Qué pasó?
Creo que es publicidad.
Ah,
Today, understanding and deriving meaningful. Imagine you have a laser that can fire a beam through a perfect vacuum for 1 kilometer. Start a timer the instant you fire the laser beam. And exactly when it hits the end, stop the clock. Except, how do you know when light reaches 1 kilometer if you and the clock are at the starting point? Okay, so you need 2 clocks. One at the laser and one at the end, which stops automatically when it detects the laser light. But now, how do you make sure your 2 clocks are synchronized? Well, you can connect them via a wire and send a pulse from one to the other, but that pulse will travel at the speed of light, so it will arrive with a time delay. You might think you can just subtract that time delay, but it is equal to the time it takes for light to travel 1 kilometer. That's what we don't know and are trying to measure. Okay, new plan. Start with the clocks together and sync them up first, and then send one of the clocks down to the end. Now, what could possibly go wrong? Well, I'll tell you. The clock at the finish line is moving with respect to the one at the start, and special relativity tells us moving clocks tick slow relative to stationary observers. So by the time the clock reaches 1 kilometer, it will no longer be in sync with the clock at the start. Can I tell you the only solution to this problem? Ditch the second clock. Put a mirror at the end to reflect the light back, and use a single clock at the start to time the full 2 kilometer round trip. Wasn't this actually done before? There's on a mountain, and there's a wagon wheel with a lantern, and there's something like a mirror on the other side of the mountain. I've always wanted to do this. So that sounds a little like how the speed of light was first experimentally measured by people like Bizot in 1849. He shot a beam of light between the teeth of a rapidly spinning deer to a mirror up on a hill 8 kilometers away. By the speed of the deer, he reached a point where the reflected light passed through the next gap on the ear, so it was observed. He measured the speed of light to be 313,000 kilometers per second, which is within 5% of the presently accepted value. So someone has measured the speed of light, or have they? What has been measured is the round trip or two-way speed of light, but no one has measured the one-way speed of light. One thing I'm going to throw at you, and I'm just going to come out and tell you. It's like, what if the speed of light in this direction is different from the speed of light in this direction? Then that sounds like a Veritasium video. The question is, could you figure it out? The kind of crux of this problem is that the only way people have managed to measure the speed of light is for a round trip. No one's ever managed to measure the speed of light in just one direction. It's possible that the speed of light is half of c in one direction and instantaneous on the return journey. What? That's possible. Are you serious? Think about communicating with an astronaut stranded get a response 20 minutes later. So we imagine our signal takes 10 minutes to get there, and the reply takes 10 minutes to come back. But it's possible that our message took all 20 minutes to get there, and the reply came back instantaneously. There's no way we could tell the difference between these two scenarios. But why would the speed of light be different? Well, it's possible that there is some preferred direction through space-time. I mean, our universe has a lot of symmetries, but there is also some asymmetry. For example, why is there so much matter relative to antimatter? And physicists have worked out internally consistent theories of physics in which the speed of light is different forwards and in reverse. The speed of light could vary by just a few percent, up to, at the extreme, going c/2 in one direction and infinitely fast in the other direction.
Okay, so let me figure this out. So, yeah, I kind of don't believe you. I don't believe you that light is a different speed in one direction but in the other. But I know you well enough to know that you wouldn't call me and put a camera on me unless you knew you were right. And that's what scares me about this. That scares me.
Now, you might think it is just simpler that light should travel at the same speed in all directions, but the truth is that is a convention rather than an experimentally verified fact. Einstein himself pointed this out in his famous 1905 paper on the electrodynamics of moving bodies. He spends the first couple of pages on the problem of synchronizing clocks at different locations A and B. And he says there is no way that we can meaningfully compare the times they measure unless we establish by definition that the time required by light to travel from A to B equals the time it requires to travel from B to A. He's essentially defining that the speed of light in opposite directions is the same. And he puts the definition in italics to remind us that this is only a convention. It's known as the Einstein synchronization convention. So the idea that the speed of light is the same in opposite directions, as Einstein would later write, is neither a supposition nor a hypothesis about the physical nature of light, but a stipulation that I can make of my own free will to arrive at a definition of some way. That seems a lot more subjective than how I think most people would imagine the speed of light is defined.
Dude, this is hardcore. I've never thought about this.
I didn't think about this before either.
I always assumed that when we said the speed of light is c, we meant the one-way speed of light. There's no way to define the one-way speed of light. So the only thing we can really define is the two-way speed of light.
Just look at the way Einstein defines c. It's for the round trip from A to B and back.
I don't know if you saw in your physics classes, but whenever there was a light clock, it would always bounce the light up and then back. You would never see a light clock just bounce light one way.
And this is why. The only thing we can be certain is constant for all inertial observers is the two-way speed of light. For over 100 years, scientists have tried to find a way around this, to measure the one-way speed of light by itself. Here is a paper published in the American Journal of Physics in 2009 that claims to measure the one-way speed of light. And here is the paper debunking this study, when these authors were actually measuring the two-way speed of light. But I'm imagining you might have some ideas for how to measure the one-way speed of light, so let's go through some of them. I mean, can't we just use a high-speed camera that shoots at 1 trillion frames a second so we can actually see light passing through an object? The problem is, you're not only seeing light pass through the object, you're also seeing it bounce back to the camera, measuring the two-way speed, not one-way.
I think we should explore a few solutions.
Following the suggestions, capturing your tone might undermine the message.
There you go. Get a spool of fiber optic cable, I don't know, like 186,000 miles. And you could shine the light here and you have the other end of the fiber here and you could shine here and then wait and see the delay see if it's 1 second later over here. The thing is, like, that fiber's going around and around and around. So it could be that when the light goes this way over the top of the loop, it goes slower, and then you go on the bottom, it goes faster. It all averages out in the fiber, and you're essentially getting lots of round trips in that fiber. So you're never getting a one-way.
What if you center a synchronizing device between the two clocks and send out simultaneous pulses? Well, if the speed of light is the same in both directions, this perfectly synchronizes your clocks. But if the speed of light is different in each direction, one of the clocks will be ahead of the other. And it will be ahead by just the right amount, so that when you measure the speed of light, you'll find the way in DC, even though that was not the speed the light was traveling. This is the same reason GPS synchronized clocks won't work. The whole GPS system is based on the assumption that the speed of light is the same in all directions. If the speed of light is different in different directions, the light pulses from satellites will travel at different speeds, so the clocks will be properly synced. By that I mean they will always measure C for the one-way speed of light, whether it is or isn't. How about starting with synchronized clocks in the middle and moving them apart with equal and opposite speeds? That way the time dilation for each clock will be the same and they'll still be synchronized when they reach the endpoints. But again, this only works if the speed of light in each direction is the same. If the speed of light depends on direction, and so does time dilation. You might think you can move the clocks really slowly so that time dilation is negligible. But if the speed of light is different in different directions, you can't just use the standard formula to calculate what a time dilation would be, and it could be a lot worse than you think.
So the reality is we're stuck. We need synchronized clocks to measure the one-way speed of light, but we need to know the one-way speed of light in order to synchronize our clocks. Now, this might sound like just an academic concern, so I want to go through an example to illustrate just how differently the universe works if the speed of light is not the same in all directions.
Let's say on Mars, Mark is trying to synchronize his clock with the Earth. At noon, Mission Control sends out a message that says, this signal was sent at exactly 12 o'clock. When Mark receives this message, he uses the Einstein synchronization convention to set his clock. Notice the round trip time delay is 20 minutes, so he assumes the signal must have taken 10 minutes to reach him. He programs his clock to 12:10 p.m. and sends a return message. This reply sent at 12:10. The message is received on Earth at 12:20 p.m., so both parties know the synchronization was successful. When the clock reads 12:20 on Earth, it simultaneously reads 12:20 on Mars. But now consider what happens if the speed of light is not the same in both directions. Let's say it is c/2 from Earth to Mars, and instantaneous from Mars back to Earth. No one knows this, of course, so they continue to use the Einstein convention. The message is sent from Earth, but now it takes a full 20 minutes to reach Mars. But Mark doesn't know this. And as before, he assumes the signal took 2 minutes to reach him, so he sets his clock to 12:10 p.m. Even though on Earth, it is now 12:20. Mark then sends this reply sent at 12:10 p.m., which is instantaneously received on Earth at 12:20 Earth time. The experience for the two communicators is the same. The same messages were received with the same local time delays, but their clocks are out of sync by 10 minutes. What they think is the same moment for the other observer actually isn't. And there is no way they can ever recognize or correct this error. Imagine if someone on Earth immediately responded, how long did this message take to reach you? It's now 12:20. Well, the message would take 20 minutes to reach Mars, but due to the clocks being out of sync, it would arrive at 12:30 Mars time, so Mark would reply 10 minutes, a message that would instantaneously reach the Earth at 12:30 Earth time. The space-time diagram shows how there is flexibility in what we consider to be the same moment at two different locations, and in how you define the one-way speed of light. Einstein chose the convention where the one-way speed of light is always the same, but from an experimental perspective, any other convention is just as valid, up to and including one where the speed of light is c/2 one way and instantaneous the other way. about what each observer is seeing when they look at the other. Mark would be seeing the Earth as a light, the Earth is seeing Mars that really started with Mars. Look beyond it, and stars and Mars are know about that light? When it hits you go up the number line, you don't know anything about her what's doing it, but you get an lines and it's there. So like it's information conjecture is the interpretation of light is just as good as whenever you're going to reach us. As of right now in my brain. Yeah, I mean it's kind of unknowable, isn't it? It is unknowable. That's the whole point of the video. Is to say we've all agreed, and this is based on something Einstein wrote in 1905, we've all agreed to just say it's C in every direction. But the truth is the physics works the same, whether it's C or whether it's C over 2 and instantaneous, or anything in between. As long as the round trip works out to be C, none of physics breaks. And that's the crazy thing. So if we can never measure the one-way speed of light, and if it makes no difference to any of the laws of physics, then what's the point in even talking about it? Well, that is certainly one valid perspective in a debate that has been ongoing since 1905. You know, some physicists appeal to Occam's razor. Isn't it just simpler if light travels at the same speed in all directions? Most working physicists just accept the convention and move on with their lives. But I think it's important to point out that it is just a convention, not an empirically verified fact. Personally, I find it fascinating that this is something about the universe that is hidden from us. Sure, the round trip speed of light is c, but does the one-way speed even have a well-defined value? And if it doesn't, what does that mean for the concept of simultaneity? When is right now on Mars? Does it even make sense to talk about things happening at the same time if they're separated by distance? Well, maybe this is an odd quirk of the universe and there's no good reason for it. Or maybe when physics takes the next paradigmatic leap, our inability to measure the one-way speed of light will be the obvious clue to the way general relativity, quantum mechanics, space, and time are all connected. And we'll wonder why we didn't see it before. Hey, this video is sponsored by KiwiCo. They create awesome projects and toys to get kids making. I use their crates with my son, and they are a lot of fun while also being educational. Now, for viewers of this video, they are offering 50% off your first month of any crate. Just go to kiwico.com/Veritasium50. I'll put that link down in the description below. Now, I think this is a fantastic offer because these crates are a great resource for learning at home, which is something anyone with kids is doing a lot of at the moment. Plus, all the supplies you need come right in the box, which means you don't need to run to the store, which is, again, ideal. Now, my kids are still young, but KiwiCo offers 8 subscription lines for different age groups and different topics. I did the koala crates with my oldest, who is now 4. The kit I'm actually showing you here is for older kids. I built an infinity mirror, which is perfect for talking about the round trip speed of light. There's lots of round trips going on in here. Now, can I just tell you how useful it is to have a box turn up?
Ok, solo les quiero enseñar aquí, el siguiente video que sale en YouTube es ¿por qué gravedad no es una fuerza? Este les dice de la calidad de estos videos, ¿no? Vamos a ver cómo va todo esto. ¿Qué encontraron extraño? Yo encontré varias cosas.
Pues cuando habló de la dirección y así, o sea, Y según yo, el experimento de Michelson-Morley también tomaba en cuenta diferentes direcciones para la velocidad de la luz y todo salió constante, ¿no?
Sí, pero este también es en su jargón es la doble velocidad, ¿no? Porque el de Michelson es un interferómetro que tiene el, ah, que tiene el espejo y la luz viaja adelante y regresa. ¿Ya? Eso es el two-way speed, no el one-way speed. ¿Ya? Pero por allá va cosas, porque Michelson hasta rotó su aparato, ¿no? Por 90 grados. Eso sería todo al revés, ¿no? Y le sale mal. ¿Algo más?
Cuando habló de la fibra óptica, creo que no tomó en cuenta que estaba viajando o sea que la velocidad de la luz, el dato que tenemos es en el vacío, ¿no?
Ah, este es otro problema. La fibra óptica tiene una velocidad de propagación que es menor que la velocidad de luz en vacío. Porque la fibra óptica es algún plástico, vitrio, cuarzo, ¿ya? Y allá la velocidad de luz es más baja, porque tiene algún índice de refracción. ¿Ya?
Sí, o sea, como que quería que saliera bueno, el mismo valor que en el vacío, pero pues es obvio que no va a ser así. O sea, como que estaba intentando encontrar controversia donde no la había.
Sí, es muy polémico popularista, ¿no? El video, ¿no? Casi recuerda a las misas de la mañana, ¿no? Del presidente, ¿no? ¿Algo más? Son las cosas que yo anoté todavía no mencionaron, ¿ya? So, a ver.
Pues también, no sé, como que no tomó en cuenta, bueno, es que no lo entendí muy bien, pero cuando habló del GPS, o sea, no,
Un punto que yo anoté, exactamente.
ajá, como que quería que todo saliera al mismo tiempo y no tomó en cuenta la dilatación.
¿Qué, qué pasaría cuando, como él dice, la velocidad en una dirección sería diferente que en la otra dirección? Cuando calculamos la posición del, del receptor, ¿cómo la discutimos con los cruces de las superficies, ¿no? Este dice que la posición saldría en otro lugar, porque vamos a meter otro radio para la superficie en el cálculo. Y cuando la luz del satélite viene de la izquierda y la luz o la señal del satélite viene más de la derecha, nuestra posición que dice el celular se cambiaría, ¿no? So, la posición dependería de qué dirección viene la señal del satélite. So, este no observamos, ¿ya? So, esta es una cosa que yo anoté también, ¿ya? ¿Algo más?
Mm, fuera de eso, es que no le entendía así perfecto.
Yo tengo dos cosas más. Ya se fue Jonathan, ¿no? Se perdió la conexión. Un punto muy importante es que en la derivación ya regresó Jonathan, en la derivación de la transformación de Lorentz, metimos unos postulatos, unos axiomas al principio, ¿no? Y uno de estos es la isotropía del espacio. Allá explícitamente se requiere que que no hay direcciones preferidas, ¿ya? Que todas las direcciones son iguales. Y entró, cuando lo repiten, cómo hicimos la derivación de la transformación de Lorentz, hasta el primer truco, cuando dijimos ahorita la velocidad va todavía en X, pero ahorita en menos X, en la otra dirección, que se cambia en la fórmula. Cuando la velocidad de luz sería diferente ahí, en dirección de más X, en dirección de menos X sería diferente, jamás nos sale la transformación de Lorentz cuando pasa esto. ¿Ya? Que él dice es hasta en contra de los bases de toda la teoría. ¿Ya? Y porque sabemos que la teoría funciona muy bien, las bases deben ser los correctos. Tengo una cosa más, y es sincronizar relojes. Porque, ¿qué puedes hacer? Muy fácil para medir la velocidad en la otra dirección. Primero vas a hacer una sincronización de los relojes, pero como lo describió al final. Que mete algo en el centro de los dos y manda una señal en ambas direcciones. Después usa su láser que manda un pulso de la izquierda a la derecha y mide el tiempo. Después muda su láser a la derecha y tira el láser en la otra dirección. Otra vez va a medir bien la posición, la velocidad de luz, pero en la otra dirección. ¿Ya? De que necesitas tener toda esta sincronización, que ni puedes sincronizar los relojes y te falla siempre, también es incorrecto. ¿Ya? Este es un muy buen ejemplo. Desafortunadamente en YouTube hay más vídeos que son así que vídeos que son correctos. No solo por la relatividad, hay también muchos otros, ¿ya? Como por ejemplo, que dice que CERN realmente no es un laboratorio de altas energías. En realidad es un portal a otras dimensiones construidos por aliens. ¿Ya? Y hay gente que siguen esto, hay vídeos en YouTube que demuestran que es correcto. ¿Ya? Y hay más vídeos de este tipo que vídeos que realmente explican qué se hace en CERN. ¿Ya?
Sí, conozco una persona que se cree todos esos videos.
Sí. No, cuando buscas en YouTube CERN, la primera cosa que te salen son los vídeos de los aliens y del portal y estas cosas, ¿ya? Hay grupos en Facebook donde discutan todas estas cosas, ¿ya? Con mucha seriedad. ¿Ya? Ellos creen con mucha seriedad. Hay que cuidarse mucho de estas cosas y hay que creer ¿no? Que nosotros mismos hicimos en la clase, ¿no? Estar consciente de los pasos que realmente son atrás de algo, ¿no? Y no solo seguir cosas muy populares y simplemente seguirlos porque es popular y a toda la gente le gusta, ¿no?
Sí,
Sí,
bueno,
además, adelante, Román.
hay algunos youtubers, ay, perdón, hay algunos youtubers que pues sí son físicos, a esos sí los sigo, son un poco más serios.
Así, yo no digo que no hay de estos, de los serios. Yo digo que hay más de los no serios que de los serios. ¿Eh? Este es el problema. So, hay con mucho cuidado, hay que sortear de estos. ¿eh? Y nosotros como físicos serios debemos ser capaces de hacer esto, ¿no?
Sí.
Sí. Muy bien. ¿Ahorita tienen otra cosa más de este tipo? Una más cosa que quería mencionar. Sí, es muy difícil hablar de sincronización de relojes o de eventos que pasan en el mismo momento mientras los relojes están en alguna distancia, como ya en el ejemplo en la Tierra y en Marte. ¿ya? Sí, es muy difícil, pero no significa que no se puede medir la velocidad de luz. ¿ya?
Sí, sí, esa explicación estuvo un poco extraña.
Sí, exactamente. ¿ya? Este vídeo me mandó un alumno hace 2 años cuando di la clase de relatividad. Y me gustó y la metí en una clase exactamente igual como a ustedes, ¿ya? Mostrando el vídeo y después discutiendo cuáles cosas son incorrectos, ¿ya? Para hacer esto, ¿ya? So, y este semestre me mandaron varias cosas a discutir. Tengo...
Okay, so you need 2 clocks.
Okay.
Which stops automatically when it detects the laser light. But now, how do you make sure your 2 clocks are synchronized? Well, you can connect them via a wire and send a pulse from one to the other, but that
Ok. Ok. ¿Tienen otras preguntas o comentarios?
pulse will travel at the speed of light, so it will arrive with a time delay. You might think you can just subtract that time delay, but it is equal to the time it takes for
So, ¿otra cosa más o ya no?
Pues solo mi duda era sobre la sincronización, pero pues ya la resolvió. Porque sí era algo complicado porque quería ordenar los relojes los detectores con el reloj de tal manera.
Sí. No, sí. Puede hacer también una cosa, es tener los 2 relojes. Él dice que no la puedes mover al otro lado porque la dilatación del tiempo hace problemas en esto. Sí, la puedes mover muy lento y moverlo primero en una dirección y después en la otra, a ver cómo realmente va. ¿Ya? So, no hay... solo es como se queda en la mitad y dice, ya, sí, no funciona, punto, ¿no? Muy bien. Con cuando no tienen más preguntas, comentarios, este sería todo para hoy y nos vemos otra vez el martes.
Sale, profe, hasta el martes.
Muy bien.
Gracias, doctor.
Nos vemos. Bye.
Gracias.